certain companies that frown upon agents writing combined single limits. But that being what it is, that they just work a little bit differently. Okay. So question 9 in the book is going to say, Mr. Jones purchased an auto policy with split limits of liability in the amounts of bodily injury, $30,000 per person, $60,000 per occurrence, and property damage, $25,000. His wife was driving him to work when she caused an accident with Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith sued and was awarded damages for his injuries in the amount of $32,000 from Mrs. Jones and $4,000 from Mr. Jones. Mr. and Mrs. Jones' insurer spent $5,000 in defending and settling the claim. How much did the Joneses policy pay for all costs? In this case, what we've got to do, anytime you've got a narrative question like this, where they're trying to give you a whole bunch of set of facts or explaining what we call a case, what you've got to do is you got to figure out how many different people were injured and how many different properties were damaged in this case. So in this case, what we find is that there is only one party that was damaged, or that was actually, one party that was injured, right? So there was only bodily injury in this case. There was no property damage that was listed in this case. And Mr. Smith was the party that actually was injured. So Mr. Smith was awarded a total of $36,000 of injuries from the court. Now, again, this policy is a $30,000 per person bodily injury limit. So the policy can only pay out $30,000 to Mr. Smith. That does mean that the Joneses would still have to pay the $6,000 separate than the insurance plan to Mr. Smith. The question, however, was looking at how much was the total amount that the Joneses policy pay for all costs. Now, the Joneses policy has to pay for that duty to defend the insured from the third party. And in this case, those costs were $5,000. So you would take the $30,000 that they'll pay for the bodily injury per person limit and the $5,000 that the insurer will pay for settling and defending the claim. And that would be $35,000. All right, so if you happen to have your coverage in a different state than where you actually reside, if you're traveling elsewhere, like say you travel to a state like California, California has higher state minimum insurance limits than the state of Texas. So when you travel to California,